Hello, my dear children. I know, exams are just around the corner, but please, no tension. We're going to quickly and super easily understand this chapter, the necklace, together, okay?
Just think about that, Beta. What if one single night of glamour, just one party, cost you 10 years of your life? Sounds crazy, right? Well, this is the story of a girl for whom this actually happened. Come on, let's dive into this and find out how.
All right, so first things first, let's meet our main character. Her name is Matilda Loisel. And you need to know one thing about her. She was very pretty, but she was always, and I mean always, unhappy.
So, who was this Matilda? Well, like I said, she was pretty, she was charming, but, see, she was born into a simple family of clerks. And in her head, this was a huge problem. She believed, she was absolutely convinced that she was born for a life of luxury. So the poverty of her home, the simple furniture, the plain food, it made her suffer constantly. She honestly felt her whole life was just a big mistake, what the book calls an error of destiny.
Now, what's really interesting here is the comparison with her husband, Loisel. He was the complete opposite. He was just a simple clerk. And you know what? He was delighted by a simple pot pie for dinner. He was content with his life. But Matilda, oh no. She was always dissatisfied, always suffering, just dreaming of elegant dinners and expensive jewels. Okay, exam time. A quick question for you, just like you might see on your paper. What kind of a person is Madame Loisel, and why is she always unhappy? Think about what we just talked about. Come on, you know this.
So, what's the answer? The most important point, Beta, the point you must remember for your exam, is this. Her unhappiness comes from her own desires. It's because her real life doesn't match the grand life she dreams of. She feels she deserves better and just can't accept her simple reality. Her dissatisfaction is the real villain here. Remember this for your answers, okay?
Okay, so moving on. One evening, her husband comes home looking so happy. He has some exciting news. But for Matilda, well, what do you think? It wasn't exciting news, it was just another problem. And what were the problems? Oh, you won't believe it. First, problem number 1, no dress. She literally weeps because she has nothing suitable to wear. And then, when she gets a new dress, problem number 2, no jewels. She's sad all over again because she has no jewelry to go with it. See the pattern?
But her husband, bless him, he's so loving. He finds a solution for both problems. First, he gives her the 400 francs he had saved for himself to buy a gun. He gives up his own hobby for her. And then he has a clever idea. He suggests she borrow some jewels from her rich friend, Madame Forestier. Problem solved, right?
So off she goes to her friend's house. And there, in a black satin box, she discovers a superb necklace of diamonds. Her heart must have skipped a beat. It was the most beautiful thing she'd ever seen.
So she has the dress, she has the necklace, Matilda is finally ready for the ball. Now we get to the party and the panic that follows. This is where everything changes. And you know what? At the ball, she was a huge success, the prettiest of all. For just this one night, her dream finally came true. She was elegant, she was gracious, everyone wanted to dance with her. She was literally the center of attention. But then, they get home. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. And just as she's about to take one last look in the mirror, she lets out a cry. The necklace, it's not around her neck anymore. It's gone.
Okay, another very important part of the story, children. Exam time. In this moment of pure panic, what do M and Ms. Loisel do next? Think.
Well, they go into a frantic search. They look everywhere, in the folds of her dress, her cloak, her pockets. Her husband, poor man, goes back out to retrace every single step they took. He goes to the police, to the cab offices. He even puts an advertisement in the newspapers offering a reward. But it's no use. They find absolutely nothing.
So here is the turning point. Instead of just going to their friend and telling the truth, they make a decision that will cost them everything. They decide to lie and to replace the necklace.
And the cost of a replacement? 36,000 francs. You have to understand, this was a massive amount of money. For a simple clerk's family, this was a fortune, like lakhs and lakhs of rupees today.
So look at this. It all starts at the ball, where the necklace is lost. To get the money, they have to borrow half of it, 18,000 francs, from all kinds of moneylenders. And this leads to a decade of hardship. They move to a tiny attic, they dismiss their maid, and they live what the book calls a horrible life of necessity. And only after 10 long years is the debt finally paid.
And what about Matilda, that pretty, charming girl who dreamed of luxury? She's gone. In her place is a strong, hard woman, the crude woman of the poor household. The hardship has changed her completely.
All right, so 10 years have passed. The debt is finally paid. And one day, Matilda meets her friend, Madame Forestier, again. And Madame Forestier, of course, is still young and pretty and rich. And Matilda decides, after all this time, to tell her the truth. She goes up to her and says, "You know, I look so old because of you. I had to replace your necklace." She explains everything, and she's actually proud of it. She says, "And it has taken us 10 years to pay for it."
She's feeling proud of all her hard work and sacrifice. But was it all worth it? Now listen very carefully to what Madame Forestier says next, because this, my children, is the huge, shocking, ironic twist of the entire story.
Madame Forestier looks at her and says, "Oh, my poor Matilda, mine were false. Can you believe it? The necklace was fake. She says they were not worth more than 500 francs. All that sacrifice, 10 years of a horrible life, for a fake necklace, it was all for nothing."
So think about it. What is the most important lesson here? What's the moral of the story? Her entire life was ruined because she always wanted more, because of her pride, and because of one lie. So should we be content with what we have? Is honesty truly the best policy? Thinking about these questions will help you write some wonderful answers in your exams. All right? All the very best, my dear children.